don't think I told you. I have this great idea I'm going to use with my class. We're going to start using Instagram in my physics class.
That's pretty cool. Did you get parents' permission?
No, I didn't know I needed to.
Have you not heard of COPA?
Copacabana?
So this episode is going to be a little bit more serious. We're going to take a real hard look at what it is that, as educators, we need to make sure that we are doing to protect the personally identifiable information of our students. And COPA is one of those laws, the Children Online Privacy Protection Act, that is going to really be a strong foundation in protecting our students' privacy.
So why is it my responsibility as a teacher to make sure that I'm following COPA?
Well, that's actually up for debate. And, one of the questions is as we're thinking about making sure that we're modeling good digital citizenship for our kids, we have to make sure that we are showing students that it's important to make sure that they know how to read what the terms of service are and what the privacy policies are that are stated on our websites.
Wait a minute. The terms of service, you mean the little text that you just click, I accept, right?
Yeah, a lot of people do that. Yeah, they do that too. But here's the thing. What you may not know is that COPA requires website hosts, the people who are running all these really great tools, it requires them to get parent permission if they are collecting personal information about any minors. And minors are defined as any student under the age or any child under the age of 13.
Oh, well, my students are older than 13, so it doesn't really apply to me?
Well, COPA doesn't really apply, but there's also FERPA. And FERPA is the Family Education Right to Privacy Act. And really condensing it down, what it means is we as teachers have to make sure that we're protecting the personal information of students. So if we know that we're asking our kids to share their information about themselves, even if they don't have to create an account, who knows, they might be sharing a journal entry and might give up some personal information in an assignment you give them, even if it's a website they didn't have to create an account on. Now, we have to make sure we're getting parent permission before we do that.
So, well, who's enforcing this? Do I have to worry about a little at the door from the police?
Well, look, I don't know why you might need to be worried about a knock at the door, but what I will say is that, as I mentioned before, one of the standards of technology competency that we should be looking at is the idea of digital citizenship. And part of digital citizenship is not only being a good steward of our own digital footprint and the exhaust we leave, but also remembering that all of the work and all of the things that our students contribute online, that's going to live for a very long time. It's going to live to their first college application. It's going to live through their first job application and interview. And we want to make sure that we're not letting website hosts have any more information than they should about our kids.
And I do understand that it's important that we try and cultivate students' online presence so that they're putting a positive spin and light on all of the things that they do online. So one of the things that I have heard you say is how important it is to actually read those agreements so I understand what it is that I'm signing up for and signing my students up for.
And the most important piece is knowing that this doesn't mean that all websites are bad. It just means that we should make sure that we're aware, and we have to make sure we're making parents aware of how that website plans to cultivate, use, or hopefully protect the data that's actually stored there. What you want to be looking for is, in the privacy policies, sites that tell you that they're not going to share the information with third parties. You want to make sure that you're finding sites that say that you still own the data, that it is yours, it is not theirs when you turn it over to them through the projects that your students create.
So if I were looking for more information, how could I find out more to make sure that I'm following?
There's some really great websites that you just need to simply Google COPA and FERPA. The U.S. Department of Education has some really great resources that are out there for you.
Thanks. I think before I start that activity, I might do a little online research.
That's probably a good idea.